he put a ladder up on top of the roof, and we climbed up and we sat on top of the roof, and he had a couple of beers, and we sat there and we looked at the view, and he said, "This is what I need to get back." I first met Sandra and Martin about 5 years ago. They've got 3 elderly boys. They knew that this home would be the boys' holiday home to come back to, but this was going to be their permanent residence. So what we wanted to do was create a 1-bedroom luxury apartment, I suppose, on the first floor to grab all of these views. Down on the lower level was for the boys. And then on the 3rd story, we've got a little lookout reading room. And the idea of that is Martin's bar is up there, and that's the place where they all sort of gather. This house was really driven by that site analysis. It was saying, okay, we've got views to the northwest here, and they're panoramic views. So let's have a form on this corner that is very much about that. The views towards Byron Bay really needed to be framed to block that western sun and the southern neighbours. And then that form on the corner, creating this very sculptural form. They used to live and work in Oman. Their weekends were spent fossicking, and they've got 2 giant nautilus shells. That was their inspiration. Martin showed me the photograph of this shell, and he said, I want this spiral staircase to look like that. So we took that and we went with it, and we used it to our advantage in that form blocks the western sun, it blocks the headlights of the cars at night, yet still gives back to the street as a real, pretty striking sculptural form. Up at the bar, we've got these phenomenal views to the northwest, and so what we did there was use a bifold system to completely open up. They just disappear, and you're just left there to enjoy the view. We wanted both facades to follow the line of the site, which means that we end up with the windows at 105 degrees instead of 90 degrees. And when I first thought about that, I rang Murray straight away and said, "Can we do this?" And he said, "Absolutely we can." So we went with it. We talk about the success of the windows in this house and the doors, but it's their ability to completely disappear so that you don't see them is why it's so successful. 15 years ago, we were experimenting with a lot of different window companies. We then came across AWS and the Vantage system, and to be honest, it was just as much about the way we worked with local fabricators, and that's a big factor. The other factor is they really are the best system going around. That sounds a bit like a plug, doesn't it? But it's true. I do love that form that we created, because it wasn't just about the form as well. It really was this driving force behind the design. It made sense because it was them. It was their driving passion behind the house.